Okay, this certainly was not the plan this evening, but it actually did have me thinking, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a video about it now about all of these ideas is fresh in my head. So this is gonna be another one of those quick, no, not a lot of edit. There won't be much edits in this video. It's gonna be a one take kind of situation just to get this out of the top of my head, just a ramble, bit of a ramble, but here's where this idea came from. There was a comment that I saw on my previous video, the Madonna "Who's That Girl" soundtrack reaction, which you can go check out if you haven't already. Pretty nice video. And there's this guy who says in my comment section, he was like, "Oh my God, stop comparing her with 20 other artists every 5 seconds." And it's just like, first of all, let's just get one thing straight. Listen, I'm more than open to constructive criticism and all that kind of stuff, but don't be mean about it. Don't be rude about it, because there's a line between constructive criticism and just outright being rude, and you, sir, was being you was being rude, and you know it. And so we don't tolerate that here. First of all, I don't want that to scare y'all. Being, I'm more than open to constructive criticism and suggestions and all that kind of stuff. And you guys have been doing that. You've been great about it. But people like that who's like, oh my God, stop comparing to 20 artists every 5 seconds. Just like, calm down. Like you're doing too much. Calm down. So I responded. I was a bit bogus in responding, and so I said, okay, well now that you said it, I compared Madonna to Taylor Swift because Madonna Madonna's popularity kind of skyrocketed with, I think, the Blonde Ambition tour and Like a Prayer. Like Madonna's popularity was like growing, and then it exponentially grew, I think, in the late 80s, mid to late 80s or something like that. And she was selling out stadiums and all that kind of stuff. And then it wasn't at the same time Janet Jackson was becoming a big artist herself, and she was selling out arenas and stadiums and stuff like that. So it had me thinking, this it had me thinking about those two, Madonna and Janet Jackson, and remember how back in the 90s those two they really weren't rivals, but the media put them against each other because that's what people like, I guess. I don't know. It's so weird how people put artists against one another, especially women. I don't know why that's the thing. Anyways, there was Madonna, Janet Jackson, Madonna, Janet Jackson. It's just like there was nobody saying, hey, both of these women should be celebrated equally. They both done incredible things, and they both are queens in their own right. But this is America, can't do that here. But with that said, with all those ideas in mind, you know what's so funny about that? It had me thinking about the Taylor Swift and Beyonce. Because remember last year, 2023, we saw the Renaissance tour and we saw the Eras tour. And those two tours were taking over the world, and they were selling out stadiums, doing all good stuff, and yada yada yada. And so people were naturally putting those two together. And so I remember thinking, that's kind of like Madonna and Janet Jackson back in the 90s. And then when I look at and then when I look at what happened, this happened, I think, a couple of days ago, where Billboard put out some list of like the greatest pop stars of this generation, 21st century, something like that. They put Taylor Swift as 2 and Beyonce as 1. Personally, I don't care. It's a list. It's their list. I don't care. Everyone can make a list. Like, I have a list. I think Janet Jackson is the greatest, but obviously not everybody thinks that, but that's okay, because we can have our own opinions. But people were not happy with that. People were like, you put Taylor Swift at 2 and Beyonce at 1? Oh, Billboard, you're da 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 da. And then some of the Swifties were kind of being pricks about it, being racist. There were some racist posts made on Twitter, which was like, Jesus Christ, y'all care that much? Good Lord. And then there were Beyonce fans who were like, yeah, y'all being racist, which to be fair, some of them were, but obviously not all. But when that happened, I was like, you know what this reminds me of? When Lizzo made a post not long, it was like last year, 2 years ago, something like that, where she said that Janet Jackson was the queen of pop, and Madonna fans got mad because they were like, "No, she's not. She has more sales." Da 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 da. And it's just so. This whole thing is stupid to me. It there's so many parallels between the supposed rivalry. Said that right? Or a battle between these two when there really isn't. And you know what's so damning about all of this? This list that came out with Billboard, and then with Madonna and Janet Jackson back in the day, you want to know a fun fact? They don't care. Beyonce don't care, Taylor don't care, Janet didn't care, Madonna didn't care, because they were all doing their own thing and they're all being successful. They were all happy. there are millions of fans that they have all around the world that's going to come to their concerts. Both Beyonce and Taylor sold out stadiums. Both Madonna and Janet Jackson sold out stadiums and arenas. So it's just like you like what the amount um of like backlash that Billboard got for that list is just like Jesus Christ. But at the same time, it does remind me of that Madonna and Janet Jackson kind of thing. So I just found that so interesting, because I was sitting here thinking about it. I was just like, that's quite fascinating. And I want to thank the guy who commented that on my last video because he really did spark me into making this video. Because I was like, now that I think about it, I want to make a video about this. So I'm not gonna point you out, but you know who you are. But thank you, I appreciate you. You gave me a genuine video idea. But yeah, that was pretty much all this video was. It was just saying that Madonna and Janet Jackson, the way they put the media put those two together back in the day, and now how the media and social media is putting Taylor Swift and Beyonce together, it's just like, it's a lot of comparisons here. But at the end of the day, all women, all those artists are wonderful. They really are. Even Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston. Because when Mariah Carey first came out, everyone compared her to Whitney Houston because she had a powerful voice, and they tried to put those two together, but they shut that up with 1998 when they put out When You Believe, yeah. So yeah, they love putting artists against one another. I don't know why, but that's so stupid in my opinion. I think it's just ridiculous. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. If I missed anything, let me know, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. Y'all take care. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe.